Let's go, guys. Welcome. How are we all doing, ladies and gents? Welcome. Let's get the show on the road. Let's get underway, guys. Without further ado, here I am. Good morning, good afternoon, and as always, good evening. Wherever you are around the world, welcome, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Smash that like button. Let's smash the like button. Those of you on YouTube, hit the like button, spam a chat, say g'day, let me know how you're all going. And also to those of you in the TikTok, don't forget to smash that screen. Let everyone know we are streaming, we are live, and let's get to work, guys. So what a day it's been a cracking day. For those who are in the Discord, we called a really nice trade. I called it step by step. Some of the guys were involved, so it was a nice quick win on gold for the Asian session, which I'll go over shortly. But without further ado, guys, so it's been a good week. Personally, 5 wins, 0 losses, and 1 break even for the week. Bounce back week, guys. Last week was my worst week for the year, albeit a 0.35% loss, so it's hardly a thing, is it, to worry about at all. But nonetheless, back on the W train this week and been killing it. So let's see what we can come up with moving forward. As always, I'll be having a look at GJ. We'll have a look at gold as well. Gold is my preferred pair, and we'll take a look at some other pairs as per your request. So guys, don't forget, don't be shy. Let me know if there's any questions, any charts. You guys know the deal. But let's get this thing cracking, and let's start with GJ to begin. So starting on top-down analysis, and as we normally do, we look at the weekly time frame. So to begin, weekly forming a strong bullish candle. It is engulfed in the previous weekly candle. So based off that, once again, I'm likely going to be looking for buys. Simply, once I go down to the lower time frames, that more so the M30, but also the 4-hour time frame, I'll be able to determine what potential levels the price could pull back to yet again form support, to head back in line with the direction of the current weekly candle. If you have the volume, momentum, there is nothing stopping this train from continuing on to the next station. So as far as the next station for GJ, well, you got to look at the psychological round numbers. So obviously you got that 201 flat level, which is not too far above the current weekly candle's high. Aside from that, you're probably looking at the 201.25, 201.2 sort of level as another potential level that price could eventually pull up to if we are to continue in line with the current weekly candle direction. On to the daily time frame, guys, and look at that, still on a big uptrend. We've had now how many days? So since the support forming back last Friday, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, well, 4 candles with higher lows, potentially another candle to come with a higher high. We are forming back bullish in the current daily candle, approaching that previous daily candle's high. So at this stage we are bullish, and we've got counter probabilities to the upside. Nothing yet to suggest that we're ready to pull back. Let's mark in the current daily candle's low nonetheless, and let's just see what we've got below that level, if there could be potential options. Onto the 4-hour time frame, and we can see that is flipped bullish, and we are now hard pressed against this resistance. Well, we've actually broken it, haven't we? And on the way towards the current weekly candle's high, potentially about to retest that. Current candle doesn't really have much of a low wick, or doesn't really have any low wick. So the potential for it to pull back, if we were to pull back, what I want to see is price start to pop back below that previous resistance to the left. And if we do begin to pull back and create low wick on the 4-hour, then perhaps we are still respecting and rejecting that resistance to the left hand side. But as of now, based off structure, we are definitely bullish. Levels to mark in a bit tricky on the 4-hour. I'm going to mark in the support, the most recent support. Obviously got some levels in between the M30. I'm also going to wait till I go down to the 30-minute time frame to mark in the resistance. So we are bullish. As far as momentum, well, not a great deal of volume throughout the Asian session. However, obviously we're coming to a higher time of volume, so that could spike shortly. Onto the M30 time frame, guys, and what we can see is it's a slow trickle. We're technically bearish on the 30-minute time frame. So this was the highest point the market got to. We have since retraced, we've pulled back, we've closed below the previous swing, the origin of the swing to the upside, therefore flipping a structure bearish. So at the moment, as long as we remain below the high of the current weekly candle, continues to close below, we are technically actually bearish on the 30-minute time frame. I'm just going to adjust this support down to this level here. So there's the 4-hour support. All right. So we've got this resistance, and that is just below the previous daily candle's high. And we can see the volume right now is not quite there at the moment. It's just a little bit shallow. There's not a great deal of momentum on the approach to resistance. So therefore, that being said, I'm less likely to look for potential impulse entries above the previous daily candle's high, unless, for instance, this candle closes a very strong bullish candle, preferably right up just below the low of the previous daily candle, so right near the high of the gray zone right now. And if that was to be the case, then I could potentially look for the impulse entry. Otherwise, what I prefer to see is nice strong closure above, breaking the high of the previous daily candle, then for price to pull back, tap into that previous resistance, and then what we're going to do is obviously there move push further to create a higher high. If we do bounce off that resistance, we're likely going to push further to create a higher high into territory we've not been at since for the last 26 years, I think it is, to be exact. So that is for some buys upon continuation. That is what I'd like to see for the buy option to begin. Now, seeing we are bearish in the M30 and seeing the volume is lacking at this resistance, we're sort of just consolidating just below it. We have just formed support below it. So counter trend, counter bias, but with the M30 structure, if we are to begin to pop below this support, then there's a high probability price will pull back to the next support around this 200.52 sort of level. If we've got the volume margin, so it just depends where the closure is below the support formed at resistance. If it doesn't eat into the margin entirely to the next level, we could look for some potential sells below the support formed at resistance. So I'd be putting in sells below. However, to be honest, guys, the sells got to be really good. To be honest, they got to be really clean, because the setup's going to be perfect in my opinion, because we're in such a strong uptrend. The weekly is a very strong bullish candle. Other than a 30-minute time frame, which it just might be a brief flipping off the structure bearish, just on the pullback to grab more liquidity. All we need to do is close above. I'm going to flip the structure back bullish. So if it does not close above and we start to pop below support, I'd be quick to manage it. To be honest, guys, I would not be greedy and expect it just to melt. Could it melt? Of course it could, but it's in a pretty strong uptrend. So what it could also do is just pull back, create a higher low or an equal low to this support here, and start to trend back bullish in line with the weekly candle. So I'll be very strict with the management if I was to look for any sells at this stage. Otherwise, it's just a matter of looking for buys from any pullback. I think if we respect the current daily candle's low, pull back to the support formed at that level, I'd be inclined to look for my buy options as well. Further sells below that level would make sense. That's buys above. If we begin to approach the current daily candle's low, bounce off the support, but only to start popping back below it, then I would look for my sell option below the support formed at the current daily candle's low. So that would be the sell option. And that's about it for the time being on GJ. Obviously, I'd look for the buys from lower down as well. But for the time being, that's what I'm looking at. So it's at an area of interest. Just need to patiently wait and see if it's going to reject or continue to the upside. So guys, smash that like button. Let me know what you think. Let's get this chat rocking. It's the only way to tick the algorithm over, to let others know what they're missing out on, so they can jump on and join the ride. Onto gold. And we called a really, really nice trade on gold today. Just a quick one, but it hit TP in about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, I think it was. But yeah, called it in the Discord. For those of you who are in there, some of you were actually involved, so well done. If you're not involved, and unless you're asleep, which is understandable overnight for most of you guys, But to the rest of you, what are you waiting for? It's for free. Jump in. All right, so on to the gold. We can see the weekly is forming a weak bullish candle. Still will not surprise me if it ends up breaking its own low. But however, current candle is forming weak bullish. So again, within this, we should respect levels of support if we were to continue bullish and head back up to potentially retest our own high. However, those levels of support also become potential levels to enter a sell if price begins to pop below it. We know that what's likely going to happen is price is going to then head back down to the support below that the level that we're breaking. So looking at the daily, structure wise, it still remains bullish. Nothing's changed as far as the daily structure, but we have broken a lot of the previous daily candle. So we do have counter probabilities now to the downside: lower high, lower low, current candle, no upper wick. Do we need to create an upper wick? Not necessarily, as long as pullbacks within the current candle are met with resistance or buy resistance. And what we're likely going to do is head back down to create lower lows. So now I'm going to go down to the 4-hour and M30 to see what levels we could be looking at for price to either break above and head back up towards the current daily candle's high and the previous daily candle's high, or price to pull back up to reject and head back down towards the current daily candle's low and potentially back to the support around that 22.94 sort of level. So onto the 4-hour, we can see structure on the 4-hour still technically bearish. So CPI, big move up. FOMC, big move down. Not sure what the rhetoric was from FOMC. I did not. It was 4 a.m. my time. I've not had a chance to listen in on what happened afterwards. However, CPI came out as less than expected, which, as I mentioned on stream yesterday, if that was to be the case, expect gold and the majors to pump. But obviously, whatever was said from FOMC, and obviously they kept the rates uncut, has put the markets back, sent the markets back in the same level which they originally started from. So I'm assuming they've probably come out and said don't expect rate cuts anytime soon. But again, I haven't heard anything about it. You guys might be able to tell me, enlighten me a little bit. So that's the most recent resistance on gold, which is broken a support. Just gonna mark it back in though, because we're not yet closed below. I want to see what happens on, well, what we're doing on the minor time frame. We tapped into another support a little bit lower down. So for the time being, they're my levels. I will add and remove levels as we progress. All right, so what I'm going to do is just drag this down. Now I'm just going to adjust this. I'm going to adjust this for the time being. So the M30 structure, guys, is bearish. It's actually flip bearish. Finally closed below this swing point here on the previous candle. So therefore, that gives us an overall bias, a neutral bias at this stage. The high time frame is bullish, the 4-hour and M30 being currently bearish. Based off that, based off the way of the direction of the current daily candle at this rate, if we remain below the resistance formed off the support that we bounced off during the Asian session, I would be looking for my sell. So if price was to pull back to 23.50, below 23.16, I'd be looking for my catalyst win price action to sell. Now, even if we break above, pop above, but fail to close above, then could just be a fake out to grab some liquidity from the upside and then end up heading back down towards the current daily candle's low. So that's what I've been looking at for the sell option. Now, as for the buys, at this rate, maybe similar to an entry I took over here during the Asian session, if we do pop down further to the support around at 23.07. But if that was to be the case, I'm likely going to want to see a little bit more structure, a little bit more direction towards the upside. So maybe a leg up, leg down, leg up, high, 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 low, that type of scenario. Seeing we have actually flipped the structure bearish, and seeing we have actually now broken low of the previous daily candle, lower high, lower low. So I'm less inclined to look for one candle catalyst, as what I had over here made a little bit more sense because we still respected the M30 structure. So for the buys above, I probably want to see a little bit of micro trend structure forming back bullish, maybe a bit of consolidation. As price begins to pull away from that consolidation, I'd probably trust it a little bit more for the buys. Aside from that, seeing we have form resistance on the way down within the current daily candle. If we are to continue bearish, we should respect that resistance. However, if we start to pop above it, likely what we've done is just grab liquidity from all this from this area to the left hand side, all this traffic to the left, and we're likely going to end up heading back up towards the current daily counter high if that was to be the case. So the buys above, your resistance here at 23.16 roughly would also be, for me, a definite potential entry. And that is it on the gold. So guys, how are we all doing? Let's get to know one another. Who we got out here today? Let me share the stream into the Discord. I've not done so yet. It's a lot to remember, guys. Trust me. A lot to remember. Only one brain that's functioning. Just one sec, guys. All right. One moment, guys. So I'm gonna post a poll question into the YouTube chat. Simple question. Are we gonna be above 23.10 by the end of the stream? Or below? And I want you all to engage. And I want you all to give me your opinion of it. And even in the chat, let me know what you're thinking and why. Alrighty guys, in the meantime, let's quickly, before I get to the chat, before I get to say hello to everyone in the YouTube chat and also on TikTok, I appreciate you guys. Let's quickly have a look at GU before the turn of the hour. Just did an update video for the free Discord. So GU, it's a bit of a tricky one in all honesty. It's bullish across the board, believe it or not, even though it doesn't look at the moment. However, it's kind of in the middle of no man's land at the moment, but let's quickly just do the analysis. So the weekly is forming a bullish candle, sort of on the borderline of being strong or weak. It's around 50%. High counter probability upside. Daily structure is bullish. Long wick to the upside, rejecting its previous resistance. Current candle forming quite a strong bearish candle. Looking at the 4 hour, all good, Franco. Just saw that message pop up. Hope all is well, by the way. The 4 hour, it is also technically bullish. We're just in a bit of a pullback. We're back below this resistance here to the left hand side. It's like trying to catch a falling knife though at the moment right now. Would not be interested in chasing the sells. What we can do is mark in some levels of resistance and support. So I'm just going to mark in probably that for the time being. All right. Just that whole level one. It's a tricky sort of level. So on GU, what I'd be focused on now is pullbacks to 127. What is it? 127 or 128 flat. Pullbacks to 128 flat. Rejection. Just be looking to sell it down. Buys above that level. If we pop above it, it's a resistance formed in the current daily candle. Likely what we're going to do is we're flipping the micro trend back bullish. We're also creating a higher high within the daily. So we've since the open basically just been straight bearish. So if we begin to flip, break our own high, then we're likely going to head back up towards the high of the previous daily candle. So I'll be looking for the buys above that point there and sells below it. And to be honest guys, anything in between right now I'm not all that keen on, because I feel like it's a little bit late to the sells upon continuation. The only other way I probably would consider any sort of sell at the moment is if price just consolidates like so and you have a nice strong closure below it, and then might be ready to continue to trend to the downside. But at the moment I wouldn't be chasing it. I'd just be leaving it as is and see if it does actually begin to pull back. and that is GU. So guys, welcome. How are we all doing? How's the week been? Let me know, ladies and gents. Don't be shy, talk to me. Who we got here today? Solako, few new names in there. Good day to you, good morning, hope you're well. Will 2Ys, good day to you as well. First time here, great to have you here, my friend. Make sure to sub and don't go anywhere. It's a quality stream. We look for quality entries. We don't take a million entries a stream like some of the others. We just focus on quality, not quantity. I teach you guys to fish, so when you go away from the stream, you've got good chance to actually find some good opportunities for yourself, not just looking for signals all the time. It's not what it's about. We do take trades, but we wait patiently for the right opportunity. Julio, good morning to you. Char, good morning, brother. Murad, good day to you. Ian, good morning. Go Sniper, welcome back. Hannah, good morning to you. Spam in the chat, that'd be great. Yeah, let's get to 2k subs on the YouTube. We're not far away from now. I think it's 1.9 something. So you guys, for free, just help me out. Let's just get this chat rocking today. Dot, good morning to you. Franco, hope you're well, brother. Saxy, good morning. Sydney Slots, doing good. What about you? All good, brother, all good. Been a good day. So I'll show you guys the Discord chat in a sec. Rise up, EJ thoughts. I will definitely have a look for you in a moment. Gold was strong, has strong movements. It definitely does. Leo, it always does. Carl F, good morning to you. So quickly, before I have a look at EJ, this is what was going on in the Discord today. So we were chatting about gold. What was it? So I mentioned it here, looking for an M15 bullish engulfing candle. We called all the way through and the rest was history. So it was a quick win, nice win. And the chat is rocking today, so it's great to see. I appreciate when you guys do engage. So if you've not yet joined, make sure to do so. TikTok, I think there's a link. I'm not sure if you can actually click it or not. To be honest, I'm not sure how it works. I've posted some link on the screen, but I don't know if it works. And to the guys on YouTube, it's down in the description below, the link to the free Discord. On TikTok, who we got? Nuno Ratch, can you please check gold if you don't mind? Yep, just had a look. Emil, buy or sell? Nothing at the moment, my friend, just patiently waiting. So gold, I'm looking for the buys above that resistance, sells below it, and potential buys if it does pop down a bit further. So without further ado, let me look at EJ as per the request. So EJ looking probably quite similar to GJ, but it's at a resistance. So let's quickly do the top down analysis, and this deserves a like for whoever asked it. If you've not hit the like button, you have to smash that screen right now. All right, so EJ forming a weak bullish candle, long wick to the downside, bouncing still off this resistance to the left hand side. So are we going to create support on the weekly? Obviously need to wait more than 1 day to confirm that, but long wick to the downside, respect to the low of the previous weekly candle. So I would say it's a weak bullish candle. Currently looking at the daily structure, and that is bullish. It is bullish and counter probability upside, but in a very heavy area of traffic to the left hand side. So not going to be necessarily that easy looking for buys upon continuation. Let's mark in the current daily candle's low, see what we've got below that level, and likely would have formed support that level on the minor time frames. We'll see what we can find. There could be potential options below it. As for the 4 hour, let's just mark in some resistance. Probably just use that bullish candle wick for the time being. So we can see we just tapped into the resistance on the 4 hour. Structurally, it is bearish. And this one big impulse to the downside, we have created equal lows. We've not broken a high or closed above the high, so we're technically bearish on the 4 hour. Just marking the most recent support, and we can go down to the M30 time frame. So the M30 is bullish, so therefore the bias is technically bullish. M30, I mean, you could almost argue it flips back bearish below the support, but very similar to GJ right now. The M30 will form support just below resistance. If we begin to pop below, break below, close below resistance, support, sorry, then what I feel is we're likely going to head back down to the next level at 169.450. So you should have enough margin to look for a potential sell below that level there. So we're looking for sells below. And if you've got the margin to buy it from the support from above it, I'd be looking for the buys. Otherwise, again, weekly is still technically forming bullish at the moment. So if we do pull back, that could be a next level of support to look for price to respect to potentially buy it back up. So from above that 169.450 to 169.50 sort of level. So point of entry for sells is below support. Point of entry for buyers is above the support or above the support below the current level of support. That makes sense. Continuation buys, I just don't see it, to be honest. Running into some pretty heavy traffic over here to the left hand side. Yeah, GJ looks a bit better for me. So let's go, guys. Let's get this chat rocking. Who's in a trade right now? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Let me know. Let me know. Who's in a trade right now? YouTube and TikTok. 1 for yes, 0 for no. Talk to me, guys. Jaxo, good morning to you. So spam the chat. YouTube. 1 means we're in a trade. 0 means no trade. Let me know, guys. Yeah, I want this stream. Everyone's missing out. I want to get this stream firing. I want it to get up to the #1 spot. So you guys need to help me out by spamming that chat. Sydney slot 0, all good. Monty on TikTok just closed gold on a sell. Nice one. So you probably win some significant profits if that's the case. Rise up. You're in a trade. Okay. Anyone else? What's the deal, guys? What's the deal? Unless you're all driving or something, what's the deal? You guys in a trade? 1 for yes, 0 for no. So what we did today on the Discord channel, within the Discord, Christopher, g'day to you. Hope you're well. Good afternoon to you. So called it, sitting in front of the chart, doing some educational content for the VIP once it is ready for later this month, towards the end of the month. And what I did say to the guys in the Discord was we are technically bullish as long as we remain above this support. It was a level of interest that I mentioned on the Asian session update video for gold that I would like to see price pop back down to first of all before looking for a buy option. I want to see price respect it, form a support. Not only did it do that, but we had a long wick to the downside of the 15. The next M15 closed pretty much a bullish engulfing candle, closing it back above that previous support, respecting the M30 structure. That was my catalyst to look for a potential buy on the following candle. Made its lower wick, and as it began to break, I did say I've set an order, got an order, looking for the buy, triggered in, and was pretty quick to TP1. So it was a nice W. So the comeback week has been a really good one. So only 2 of you replied to that. Just that small little favor that I asked. Come on, guys. Are you in a trade right now? Y or N then? Let me know. Who's in a trade? So apart from Sydney slots and Rise Up, you guys, thank you. Appreciate it. Was a good chat this morning. Nice one. What's your username, brother? I don't even know who's who. You know, Discord. It would help me if you guys had the same usernames as what you have on YouTube. Rise Up. How do I put my support and resistance? So I look. I've mentioned this a few times on the stream. So starting at the 4 hour, it's a little bit tricky on gold right now, to be honest. Let's see if we can find a different. Gbpjpy. It's even worse. All right, let's look at EU. So what I do is I start the 4 hours. They're the more significant zones. So I look to see what the most recent resistance is. So where if we close back a bearish candle, and where is the most recent support after that bearish candle. So we just formed a resistance on the previous candle. So I will then draw in the highest point of that bearish candle to the body, to the open, and to the left of that, and to the downside, look for where we most recently formed a support. I mean, you could just mark in this whole level really, and I'd probably just adjust it a little bit on the M30. Once again, from the lowest point of the bullish candle, so it has to be a bullish candle at support, to the bodies, but this is one whole area, so I just a bit bigger zone in this case. You could adjust it now. So what you could do now is probably just do this, drag it up a little bit. Drawing support and resistance is subjective, guys. Everyone draws it up differently. Some don't even draw up zones, they just do this. You'll see other guys just do this. And if that's what works for them, by all means. But the amount of times I see price pop down to level and respect it, respect the zone, respect the wick of a candle. Form, for instance, at support, a bullish candle on the 4 hour, whatever it is, a higher time frame. But $1 for every time it has done that, I'd be a very wealthy man. So that's why I draw in the zone. And the downside, you could just do this. So you can sort of separate it into two major zones, because what you can see is in between is some pretty clean traffic. So if it does break 107.340, and there's a good chance it will come back down to 107.220 roughly. So once again, from the lowest point of a bullish candle, it has to be a bullish candle at support, to an open. It can be a candle beside it. It doesn't always necessarily have to be the same candle that forms the lowest point. To the upside, that level would remain. It is a bearish candle high. So that's my levels now on the 4 hour. On the M30, I could just draw in, change it to blue, so I can distinguish between a major and minor level. Once again, see how I've used the bullish candle wick, and I've connected that to the body of that particular candle. That now becomes my support. So now I know this is the range we're currently trading within. There is some more resistance here, but I'm not too bothered by it because I'm not going to buy it above it, nor would I sell it if it rejects that level. I'd rather wait for it to pop up to this level where it's got a little bit more margin to reject the 4 hour resistance, or if it begins to pop above the 4 hour resistance, there's a buy option, very similar to GU. So that's pretty much just a quick example of how I draw in my support and resistance. So remember, to the downside, support levels, connect it to the lowest bullish candle, the wick of the lowest bullish candle. To the open can be a candle a little bit lower down from the open of the same candle that forms the low, if that makes sense. And to the upside, the highest point of a bearish candle. But anyway, let's not lose focus. Gold pushing back up a bit. Would have been a cheeky little entry just there, but all good. Form some resistance, form support, popping back above. Not fast, guys. We're gonna wait. See how price reacts to 23.16, and we could get some options. Chris, I was buying this morning and you were selling. No, I was buying, brother. Oh no, not sure if you were in the right chat, my friend. I bought gold this morning. I wasn't selling gold. I bought gold just here. TikTok PJM is AJ sell 104.41. Is that how high AJ is right now? Wow, haven't looked at it for God knows. You're in a sell from 104.41. It's a bit of a slow mover, AJ. It's just printing barcodes at the moment. I'm assuming you got in maybe around this point. Break of, unless you got in from earlier. Looks to be in a pretty solid uptrend though. Weekly bullish, just quickly looking at it. Daily bullish. 4 hours bearish structure out of resistance, so that's okay. It's just consolidating. So when I see this, I see if a clean break above, pull back, buy it. Clean break below, pull back, sell it. Consolidation is very tricky because it could just reject and end up straight back in consolidation, because why didn't either one of these candles break and make a move? They weren't ready to do so. So we don't predict, we react and wait once we've got the confirmation. Same on the 30s, just putting barcodes right now. So if this was to be the case, I don't buy it as soon as it begins to break above this level, because it could just do what every other candle has done and pull all the way back into the middle of the consolidation. Nor do I just sell it if it begins to break, because once again, it's in an uptrend first of all, and it could do what every one of these candles have done and straight back up. So we simply wait. That's what you wait for. Higher probability. Requires patience, but it will definitely be of benefit in my opinion. Right, GJ. Bit of volume coming in. This is good. Can tie in a few confluences here if we start to close right up near the high. I have a bullish engulfing. M30. Continuation. We break into previous daily candles high. So there could be some options. Could be some options on GJ. So perhaps we'll keep an eye on GJ for the time being. Anyone else? What are we doing today, guys? Who's in trades? Let me know. Let me know. Been a really productive day. Upload some video content with VIP, a couple of videos, educational content. Got the gold buys earlier, went off to the gym, smashed a leg workout. I was quite impressed with what I was lifting on the hack squat machine. It was a good one, good day. Julio, gold movement. What's it doing? Yeah, it's a bit all over the place right now. It's not ready to decide. We're essentially just consolidating below the resistance and in between the support a little bit lower down. So just need to wait on gold. GJ looks a little more appealing just now. Hannah's still waiting. All good. Yeah, so I want to do some more giveaways, guys, but you guys really have to help me out because we need to get this chat pumping. We need to get the subs up. What was I doing? I sent a link into the Discord chat for anyone who wants to jump on Zoom. However, if you do so, once again, please continue to watch on another device the YouTube stream. I don't want to lose viewers. Can't afford to. You guys are precious on YouTube. I need you guys. Mr. Steve Dean, how are you, my member? Hope you're well, brother. Good morning to you. Top trader gold, no rate cuts, bit slow today. Yeah, probably to be expected after all the news that we've had over the past week and obviously this week as well. I think I was already priced in, to be honest. I weren't expecting rate cuts. I'm not sure what was said by the Fed chairman, who is, like I said, 4 AM my time, so I'm not up just to listen to what he has to say because he probably has no idea either way. Like most central bankers and politicians and all those type of people. Dawn, good day to you. If you are new, don't forget to sub, hit that like button, and tick that little bell. Strategy, well, just in a nutshell, based off 4 different time frames to determine a bias, and then I simply draw up my support resistance starting on the 4-hour, gray zones at the more significant levels, the 4-hour levels, blue zones at the minor levels, the M30 levels. Then I look for my catalyst within price action at certain levels of the chart to look for my potential entries. So for instance, I know right here on GJ, I'd be interested in buying it above the high on a continuation, but I need to see a nice closure above, considering we're just consolidating below the previous resistance. If we were trending and approaching that level with volume, the impulse entry could be an option, but we're not. So that requires me to wait a little bit more patiently for a closure. So I start at the weekly for look towards the direction of the weekly candle itself. Obviously it's a strong bullish candle. Then I go down, use daily candle probabilities on the higher time frames daily. Start drawing my zones on the 4-hour and M30, looking at the structure on the daily 4-hour and M30 as well to determine an overall direction that I would prefer to be trading in. And yeah, then I just patiently wait. So right now GJ is trying to pop above. So it's been a really good week, Asian session has been fantastic as well, guys. Asian session has been really good, and sometimes how it is. Sometimes his setups will arise, price will be at those levels, you'll have your catalyst play out at those levels during sometimes the Asian session. Sometimes happens during London session. Sometimes NY. We don't know. All we need to do is react, wait patiently, sit back and react when it's our cue, when that time comes. So right now on GJ, very simple plan, waiting for a closure above. Chef Wilson, you here? Seen your YouTube video? Seen my YouTube video, Lorenzo's NY stream last night? That's interesting. I didn't know I was on Lorenzo's stream last night. Oh well, either way, welcome. Lorenzo, I think I know who you're talking about. He's a really good trader. I have a lot of respect for him. Doesn't trade the same way as I do though, I don't think. But I like his vibe. I think he's a cool character. He said I'm good. Oh, nice one. Maybe I'll reach out to him at some point. Never spoke to the guy before, but he definitely seems like a cool character, that's for sure. I really like his vibe on his stream. There's a lot more viewers than I do though, that's for sure. I'll get there though, definitely get there. Alright, GJ, what is the deal? Are we gonna break or are we gonna reject yet again? Stay tuned. It's under 9 minutes, ladies and gents, don't go anywhere. Probably just enough time if you need to make a cup of coffee or tea. I know it's early for most of you. Not early for me. Alright, is it gonna break? Ben Smith, a lot more people around for my session as opposed to London though, I feel. Yeah, I think there's more demand for it. GJ is breaking, that's all good. No FOMO. Don't just jump in because we see it breaking, we patiently sit back and we wait for our cue. That's all we do. Thank you for the sub. Serpent Trader. I think it's hard to see, to be honest, man, on TikTok. I got old eyes these days, so Gbpjpy. Yeah, I'm waiting for a closure. It's all good. I'm not stressed. No stress at all. Waiting for a closure above. We've just we're about to break the previous daily count size, so it's adding confluence to any buys. So if we do break above, close up, more broken above the resistance. If we do actually close above it though, so there's a few options now. What I could do is I can now move down to the 5-minute time frame, and doesn't mean I'm entering on the next 5-minute candle, but what I want to see is to close maybe the M30. If this candle closes strong bullish, the next one taps into this previous resistance and closes back bearish, then we've had the retest, and then on the new M30 candle, all we need to see is just a little bit of a lower wick, and as price begins to break above the catalyst candle's high, so what will be the previous M30 candle's high, there's going to be options to look for a buy upon continuation. Now I know that's high up, we haven't been at this level since 2008, I think it is. So that being said, a lot of you are probably looking at it thinking, but it's overbought since August 2008. But structure is over, it's bullish, and if it does close above, we're flipping a 30-minute back bullish as well, so there is nothing stopping it just yet. The next catalyst would be, as far as this sell, is still the exact same level of support, because at that point there you can say the structure is going to flip back bearish on the M30. So still the exact same game plan for the sells. Exact same game plan for the buys, just waiting for this closure. Will 2 wires, nice one. Appreciate it. Thank you guys. Ben Smith, read that. Where would TP level be, or would you just be trailing stop? TP, I'd be using the psychological round numbers, so not quite tapped into 201 flat. So I mean, obviously my first target, I'm always looking around that 10 plus generally. Other than that, psychological round numbers, the quarter numbers as well. So anywhere between 201.20 and 201.25 would definitely be levels of interest for me. So you gotta remember, guys, the markets are run by robots, algorithms, and they're all gonna have orders set at specific levels. So it could be psychological round numbers, like I've just mentioned. so they're generally going to be my targets, especially when we're moving into the unknown. All right. All right, so even if it doesn't close back bearish this candle, it'd be nice if we actually pull back to tap into it. If not, what I'm likely going to be waiting for on the new 30-minute candle is, and I did an update video on this today for the Discord VIP when it does open. I'm not interested in limit order in this situation. Reason being, not quite trending just yet. It's more come from consolidation. So what I'd rather see is price retest this zone to see if it's going to hold. And then if it begins to pull away from it and begin to break above the candle's high, that will be the entry. Now, if it does retest and does this and begins to sink below, you're safe from an entry. We could end up coming back down to 200.66 roughly, where there could possibly be options to sell it below, maybe options to buy it above, just depends. So in this instance, I would probably refrain from the limit order and just wait for the continuation buy. Will to Xauusd 2008. Not sure what that's in reference to, but nonetheless. So what are we looking, guys? Are we all looking at GJ as well, or what are we waiting for? GJ, gold, anyone looking at EU, GU, Bitcoin? And guys in the TikTok chat as well, what are you guys looking at? Kevy, Euro Swiss. I'll quickly look at it. You're in longs. All right. Well, you're trading for the trend, so that's a good start. Weekly looks like could potentially create an upward, could flip. Daily structure is bearish. The M30 was bullish, so daily has a high, low, so you got counter probabilities to the upside. While structure still actually technically bearish, but you have counter probabilities to the upside, so you're actually trading against the trend. The M30 is bullish, but you're trading against the trend, but you do have counter probabilities on the daily time frame and the fallout to the upside. So got a bit of resistance here to the left though. I'm assuming that's likely going to be a target. I think sells below this point here was also a potential entry. Right now it's just consolidating, no clear direction. All right, back to GJ. Just over a minute, guys. Let's see. Get your orders ready potentially. Not just yet, but James, what are you looking for? Gold from the zoo? Just either rejection of the resistance, closure above it, or price to come back down to buy it from support. Focus is on gold for the time, GJ for the time being. Now I want to see it create a lower wick. I want it to tap in because we've not yet done so. Remember, guys, once we leave a range into a new range, break above it and close above a resistance, there is almost 100% probability at some point we're going to retest it. What normally happens is it will retest it if it just closes above on the following candle, as it pulls back to create a low wick, then begin to pull away. So that is what I've definitely been waiting for. If it pops up, I'm not entering it till it pulls back down. Oh, it's going to close right at it. All right. What I really love to see right now is this pop up right near the high and then flip, pull back bearish, and then I set a buy stop back above the high. This is one of my favorites if it does this. So it pops up, triggers in some early buys, pulls back down, grabs some more liquidity from this previous zone, triggers in some sellers, begins to break its own high, previous candle's high, grab that liquidity from this zone, and is likely to continue to the upside. So I'm patiently waiting for it to pull back to tap in. That's looking better. All right. I'm going to set buy stop above the high of the previous M30. Now that's going to be my entry at the moment. That's what I'm going to be looking at. We've tapped into this zone now. Stop loss at this rate. Yeah, I'm going to keep below the M30. It's going to be about 28, 29 pips stop loss roughly. That is what I'll be looking at, guys. So I like that we've tapped into this zone, because now if we begin to break above the previous candle's high, we've retested it, we're pulling away from that previous zone. I think it's a high probability we will continue to the upside. So stick the box for me, and that is what I am looking at. Hannah, goal is trying to push. Yeah, it's still right in the middle though. There's not much for me on gold right now. Yeah, just slow trickle up on a 15-minute. Not really any catalyst, or it's right in the middle anyway, so not at a level I'd want to get involved in. So definitely the focus is GJ. Oh. Tell you one thing for nothing, it is freezing here in Melbourne. How bad is it, Christopher? That Arctic breeze, it is bloody chilly. Walk into the gym in my shorts, wrapped up in a massive jacket, because I can't wear trackies to the gym. I just can't do it. I get itchy. I sweat. I can't do it. All right, this is good. This is really good. So now what we can see, guys, closure above, close the M30 above, close the 5-minute above. We've got the 5-minute pulling back to retest the zone now. We've formed some resistance, albeit on the 5-minute. We now flip, break above, to pause on a 5-minute, break above the previous candle's high, pulling away from this zone. It's a trade I will look to take every single day of the week. That wind chill factor here is just, it's terrible. I think it's like 15 degrees or something, or 14 degrees, but it feels like a 5. Ben Smith, stops below previous candle, correct. Correct, but there will be ways to manage it, because if this thing flips now and breaks the high and triggers us in, then if we were to continue bullish, really have no need to pull back down, sorry, and break your own low. So what you could do is either cut half if it did break its own low, or you could just drag the stop loss just to below the entry candle's low, and that you can see right there will mitigate your risk by probably almost 2/3. depending obviously if this candle continues to pull back first. Dawn, where am I from? From Melbourne, Australia, my friend. But I do spend a lot of time over in Thailand. It's my second home. But yeah, I'm from Melbourne. Folks get older, need a bit of help from time to time, so I'm back helping the folks for a bit while I'm here. Top trader gold, South Africa, nice one. Quite a few from South Africa. Actually, interestingly enough, I was looking at analytics again earlier today. Surprisingly, most of my viewers are still from Russia. Could not believe it. 30% of the views are coming out of Russia, so I appreciate all those from Russia watching it. To be honest, I don't judge people. If you're a decent person, I couldn't give a shit where you come from. As long as you're good to me, I'll be good to you. And interestingly enough, 30% who watch the lives are not subscribed. So if that's one of you out there, make sure to subscribe. Kevy, love from Seychelles. Interesting. Nice one. Ben Smith, is the 4 hour no bottom wick a concern? Is there no bottom wick? Is there? Not really. I mean, it definitely could come back down, break, and create bottom wick, break its own low. However, if we've just broken resistance, and if we bounce away from it, we're likely going to create a higher high. So I'm going to take that in anticipation. I should be able to get my 10 pips. And then if it wants to pull back, that's all good. So yes, it could definitely do so. But not all candles have wicks in either direction. All good, Ben. All good. Keep asking away. I appreciate it. Just ask whatever you feel like. Best way to learn is by asking questions and putting yourself out there. So I'm looking at 990 as my entry. Just about a pip and a half above the previous candle's high on my broker. All right, so this is good. It's a bit of a break and retest on the 5 minute now. So I've got another confluence on the 5 minute time frame just now as well, guys. Digging these tunes, I think the tunes are better last few days. What's going on TikTok? It's a bit slow on there today. Talk to me, guys. Minutes roughly until the open. Oh, freezing. Tam, point to you. Good day. Welcome back. Do you ever follow DXY to help your analysis? No, I personally do not. Personally, I do not, because I just focus on gold itself if I am trading gold. Plus, fact of the matter is I'm only looking for my small movements within the market, so I'm not swing trading. So not always they will move inversely correlated. Sometimes they'll move in the same direction. Most of the time will be inversely correlated for obvious reasons. But no, I just tend to focus on the pair that I'm trading. So if it's GJ, I don't worry about looking at the yen index or GU or anything like that to gauge the strength of the pound. If it's gold, I just focus on gold. But I understand if people do so, if it helps them, by all means. I always say there's no right or wrong in trading. It's just whatever you can use to your advantage. There is nothing wrong with it. V and Rach, hey bro, around what time is Sydney, is there volume in the market? Well, Sydney is around 9 AM our time, well, Melbourne, Sydney time. Or 8 AM, I think currency markets are open. No volume, no. The volume kicks in about an hour into the Asian session open, which is about 11 AM for those of us in the east coast of Australia. That's when the volume tends to kick in, so not even necessarily at the open of Asian session. It's generally an hour into it. Today's trade was 2 hours into it, was at midday, right at midday. Dawn Chets, why didn't you consider closure about the bull candle high instead using previous one? Not sure what you're referring to, my friend. You're talking about why didn't I consider buying it just here as a previous bearish candles high? V, only see movement around 1 AM, 3 AM east. So you're from this, where are you from? 1 AM or 3 AM? Whereabouts are you from, mate?
Good morning.
Mr. Phil, good morning to you.
Hi there, mate.
How are you?
Okay.
That's all. That's good, mate. That's good. What
How
are you
about
looking
you?
at? All good. Just waiting on GJ. See if there's going to be any volume. It's just stuck. So best part of 14 minutes almost. It's just hasn't moved, but we'll wait and see.
Okay.
Bit of 5-minute consolidation.
Yeah, I was looking at the EJ also. It's similar, but it's very close. It's already at the zone, so
Yeah. Yeah, EJ is a bit tricky because it's at a high time frame resistance. GJ is obviously pushed past it, so
yeah. I don't trade GJ anymore, so
fair enough. A lot of traders say that. So been burnt maybe a few times. I don't trade it that often, in all honesty. I focused on gold more than anything.
the thing is, I had this some kind of environment that analyzed my trades on a pair, like using the pairs that I trade.
Yep.
So what I noticed is I lost more on GJ than the other pairs, so I just dropped it.
That's fair enough. I mean, it's good that you're recording all that data, so you're aware of, you know, what might not be working on what pair. So for instance, it's not working on GJ the way you trade, so easy, just get rid of it.
Yeah. Same thing I did with gold also. Gold was not good. It was okay, but you know, sometimes when I get to loss, I lost a lot.
Harder,
so,
yeah, a bit hard to manage.
And considering that the way I trade, I just thought it's not a good thing for me to keep it.
Yep, fair enough.
So I just go with something that works better for me.
That's all you need to do, to be honest, man. Good idea. Just gonna answer these questions quickly. Tam, yeah, sometimes that is best. DXY chart can be very confusing. Yeah, I just don't bother looking at it. I trade mostly EU, so I follow DXY closely. That's fair enough. Dawn buys above. Oh, so you mean why aren't I in buys? Why aren't I in buys? Because it's above that level. Just because it's above it. And I've said this on a few of the streams. I know you're new into the stream, so it's all good. But just because I've got buys above with sells below doesn't mean that's just where I'm entering. That's a level that I'm interested in entering a trade. So I'll need to see my catalyst first of all. In this case, what my rule was, a closure above. What I then wanted to see was price pull back to retest this zone to see if it's gonna hold, and we're gonna begin to pull away from it. And that's when I'm gonna trust the entries begin to break above what I deem to be the catalyst, which is that previous candle's high. Now, if I was in a buy now and we're retesting, we've not yet broken out the previous candle. If we start to drop back below, into the range below, I'm not bothered because I'm not in the trade just yet. So that is why I don't just buy above a certain level, sell below it. I want to see how price approaches it. I create a rule when price is approaching level as to what I want to see, whether it be an impulse entry, whether I need to require a closure above or below. For instance, in this case, we weren't trending on the approach. The candle prior to it was bearish. This was the first catalyst to suggest to me maybe ready to continue. So that is why I'd rather wait for a closure in this particular circumstance. So hopefully that answers your question. Anna, yep. We're patiently waiting. That's what we do best. Top trader, gold getting some rejection at 23.14, is it? Yep. So for me, it still needs to pop up a bit and either buys above it or sells below 23.16.
I was looking at the GA, but it's at a certain position, this level of resistance that it's holding.
Yep. Previous.
One thing I've noticed with GA is its levels of resistance on the 4-hour or daily, they hold very well.
Yep. Okay.
It respects the zones very well. So even though the structure here is still bullish, but it breaks below this zone, I wasn't expecting it to break below that zone. So it's a little tricky because the structure is still bullish on the 4-hour and the daily and all of that. But once it's below that zone, I can't be looking for buys below this zone. It will have to break above that zone before I look for anything.
Well, it's just formed resistance at it, so I agree. Now it needs to just break above it, and then it's likely going to make the move back up. So it requires a little bit more patience. Dawn Chets, by the way, 1820 on your chart. You can see that red candle high. Why not the green candle high? Because that red candle over here, that's the bearish candle. So bearish candles confirm resistance. Bullish candles I'm not as concerned by the wick, because bullish candles obviously are bullish. They confirm support, not resistance. So at the top end of my chart, obviously I'm looking for which candles form the resistance, the highest point of that resistance, and seeing my catalyst time frame is the M30 time frame, I will then therefore draw the highest point of any resistance attached to a bearish candle. So I'm not so concerned by that bullish candle. So that's pretty much the reason for it. So we've broken above the previous daily candle's high irrespective right now. So it just adds confluence. And there's another reason why as well, because I used to include that highest point as the zone, but that stopped me from taking impulse entries completely. I was just not a fan of impulse entries. But what I realized was, if I focused on a closure above the bearish candle's high, for instance, in this case, and let's just say it closed just above it without breaking the high of that bullish candle, it still ticked the box for me because it's still closed above a previous zone of resistance. And therefore, I'm more inclined and more likely, more trusting of the impulse entry as it begins to break the highest point, so the bullish candle on continuation. So the catalyst would be the closure above the bearish candle's high. Let's just say this wick was a little bit higher up, like so, and we had a closure like so without breaking. That's my catalyst, lower wick, impulse entry, because it's closed above the resistance. It's just minor tweaks, adapting to what make me comfortable in certain trade entries. So it's all subjective, my friend. It's all very subjective. Everyone draws in zones differently, and like I mentioned before, some don't even draw in zones, they're just horizontals. Saw a very interesting S&P 500 chart earlier today. I was on actually there's a suggested video on my dashboard, my YouTube analytical dashboard, and I thought I'd just have a look at what they were suggesting, give you ideas, you know, what you could do for your stream. I've never seen a chart like it. I have no idea how the guy analyzes it. It just resembled this, like I shit you not, it looked like this. Why is it not doing it? Ah, here it is. It was literally like that. I'm like, what is going on here? No idea. But if it works for him, who am I to judge? So good luck to him. But that's literally what it resembled. Just had lines going absolutely every direction. Franco, you're back. I hope you're well, brother. Good to see the viewers are up. I appreciate it, guys. Smash the like button. Make sure to sub if you're new here. Franco, 15-minute looks good. Is it weak bearish? Yeah, it does look good. That's another confluence. So form a weak bearish candle. So we're triggering sellers at this point. We begin to break above. Once again, we're leaving this previous level of resistance and pulling away from it. Popping above the sellers, wiping a lot of those sellers out, because likely a lot of them are going to have stop losses back above the daily high. And we're going to trigger in some buy orders from this zone and likely have the liquidity to continue to the upside. Tech tier, DJ will go down weight, all good. If that's your plan, you follow your plan. Could still go down, no problem. I'm not in yet, so not at one, not concerned at all at this stage. Goats, EA, is it a sell? Well, GJ's rejecting just now, so we can quickly look. Okay. Alright, so these were levels from a few days back. You probably hear the old lady sneezing in the background. Trust me, she'll sneeze about 20 times in a row now. For me, EA is, yes, it's a sell. The M30, look at that, big impulse down. It's bearish instruction, the M30, you could just drag this down. Yeah, probably just, that would be my zone. The highest point of the bearish candle to that body there, just to give me a bit of a zone. And what I would say is, see it trickle up, it's a slow trickle, and whilst we're bearish, the probability of it making a nice move back down is higher than what it is to just burst straight through the resistance. It's all good. I've got GJ on my MetaTrader, guys, so I can see if it's going to flip. Right now it's not, so we're all good to look at EA quickly. Weekly is forming strong bearish, tapping into this support though, bouncing off it, so it's at a strong level. Daily structure itself, if we closed above, we have here, so we've got a swing point just there. So daily structure, I'd argue, is bearish. But again, respecting support to the left, so it's... When I see this, I'd rather sell it upon a pullback. Otherwise, wait for structure to flip maybe on the minor time frame and buy it. So the 4 hours bearish. Tapped into resistance, you could drag that down. That is a whole level on the 4 hour. So now just look to see where it forms support below the resistance. Most recent support is this level here. Not really much of a zone. So first point of entry for me would be closures below that support, but you're running into more support there. So in this sort of circumstance, I know best just to let it create a decent move down, cut through that traffic to the left, pull back, and then reject on the second leg to look for that continuation sell in line with the weekly candle, in line with the structure itself. Because just it's the way it is, the traffic below the current level, it's quite congested. Yes, but otherwise I'd definitely be looking for a sell. GJ's rejecting, all good. All good, guys, not a worry at all, because we're still in. And right now I'm going to remove the order because we're coming close to London Open. I want to see now how this candle closes. If this candle now pulls back to close back above, I'll put the order back in. So what I'm going to do is, on my MetaTrader, I'm just going to set the order up again without actually confirming it. The exact same level. And I will resubmit the order if this candle does close back up near the high. If not, and we reject, close back below the low, there is no entry for me just yet in either direction.
Hey, good morning, Jossie.
Branko, brother, how are you?
Fine, fine. Everything is okay.
That's it.
So, I'm looking maybe for a GU sell.
Yep. Yep, that looks better.
Maybe. Yeah.
That looks better, because I mentioned before. So we're trending down. It is actually bullish, but the only way I trust a sell upon continuation just now is if we make another pullback, form a support, and begin to break it. So, yep, I agree. In 2 minutes, if it closes below.
Yeah, also the M50 looks pretty good. So, yeah, we will see.
Yep. Let's turn our attention to gold, guys. Will gold close above? If it does close above, we're going to flip the structure back bullish on the M30 as well. So there could be gold buys, guys. Could be buys at the open. Now, as long as we close right up near the high, even if we don't close above it, what I want to see is the new candle pop straight up to grab some liquidity from the upside, and then pops back down to grab a little bit more liquidity from the downside. I would set a buy stop back above the high of the new candle. So I'm just waiting patiently. I want it to close right up. I want it to start pulling back below. Al-Qaid, not sure how to pronounce that, by now, on what gold? Not for me, I'm just waiting patiently because it's just rejecting the current dailies, trending to the downside structure on the M30s, flip bearish. So if we close like this, I'm likely going to need to wait for a little bit more data to print at the open. Gbpjpy, GJ entry, has to close below support for a sell. V and Rich, what platform? MetaTrader. IC markets. Alright, let's see on gold. It's closing below. Yeah. I don't like the fact it's closing below. So right now, what I want to see it do is break above and then pull back, then break again. Not interested in this because we're still bearish. We're still below resistance formed in the current daily candle. We tapped into it to reject right at the end of the candle, before the closure of the candle. So there's nothing on gold for me right now, unless this thing flips, breaks the high, then pops back down again. GJ, we're above support, below resistance, nothing. So guys, hold tight. Got plenty of time. I'll be back in a couple minutes. Don't go nowhere. Alrighty guys, apologies, I am back. So gold's still rejecting. All good, nothing on gold just now. GJ. So now what I want to see is, seeing we've closed back a strong bearish candle. We now just adjust this up. And I literally want to see a closure above that level there for a buy, or below this support for a sell. Just adjusting as more data prints, reacting to what is printing in front of me. So the reason why I'm not interested in impulse entry is right now, if I was to plop this bad boy, which is a collection of data and my personal experience on the charts over the past 7-8 years, all put into a document of just over 100 pages with video content and everything, that would say to me right now that candle closure is too strong of a candle to take an impulse entry against. So I need to now wait for a closure above. Very simple. Very, very simple. The way I do things is I create some rules, and it's just I stick to it. If it ticks the box, fantastic. If not, I don't react on emotion. I don't react on FOMO in fear of missing out. I just simply, I've got my plan, I've got my rule book, and if it ticks the box, I enter. If not, I don't enter. If it just goes, it just goes, because I know that there is a high probability that my rules, they're going to protect me from making an error on the actual charts, making a silly decision based on emotion. So yeah, so sometimes it means I miss the move, but it's all good. But when I enter with confidence. I'm not stressed. I trust the plan. So that's what I do on the daily, guys. Once again, and if you're not in a free Discord, make sure to join. The Asian session today caught a beautiful gold entry, gold buy, which was lasted all about 2 minutes, hit TP1 very quickly. It was all called out step by step into the Discord. So that's down below for free. Those of you in the YouTube.
Justin, please could you send me the link, the Discord link? I just want to invite some people.
Oh, okay, yep, all good, bro.
Ah.
Just done, mate. I'll pop it into the YouTube chat as well for those of you who want to join, because half the time the link down below, it expires every few days. I swear I've changed the settings so it should not expire, but it continues to do so, so I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong with it. Alright guys, still might have a decent option present, we just need to wait patiently. So all we do, we trade with high probability, we trade with confidence. 5-0 this week, so let's see if the streak can continue. Clarksonization, if there was one time frame you would use above the others, which will it be? Could you send a link to the course? The course that's for I can't send a link to the course, my friend. The course is something I put together for a long time. I've worked hard on, so the course is for sale and it's at a very reasonable price. It's nothing like a lot of the other courses you'll see out there for thousands of dollars. It's It's nothing like that, but you get heaps of free content from me, unless on the streams, also within the Discord itself. The YouTube videos that I post on the weekend. Sorry guys, it's the missus, so I ignore her. I want to be in the bad books. Organization is the website. Is it on website? Interested in buying? The website I was actually about to publish today. I was so close to publishing it today, but before I do so, I had to register something with the Australian government. I'm waiting for a reply because I'm not sure what title I need to register it under. So I'm waiting for that, and then the website will actually go live. If you're interested, of course, just send me a DM, man. Just send me a DM or on Discord, or send me an email. But it's all good, all good. What is it? Over 70 short form videos on this. Between about, I mean, the intros to the entry type or the section, generally between 30 seconds to a minute, and then you've got the actual gist of the actual entries and whatever the topic I'm talking about, and those videos go from anywhere between about 2 to 8 minutes, 3 to 8 minutes roughly. Vishal, good day to you. Welcome. So we're just patiently waiting, guys. GJ, 17 minutes. Now, are we going to get 15-minute closure above? We did get a 15-minute closure above. I may just go down to the 1 minute time frame and look for a break and retest of a high for a potential entry. Maybe, possibly. Crow, good day to you. Welcome. Gold we're still respecting. So gold, what would we want to see for sales? First of all, I want to see a bearish candle closing on the M30. So ideally what I want to see for gold to sell it is for this to happen. Firstly, on the M15, strong bearish closure followed by very weak bullish closure. What that's going to do is form support just below resistance, minor support albeit on 15, but still a support within it. So that's within the 30-minute candle. 30-minute candle is going to look somewhat like this by the end of it. So we've got the catalyst, 30-minute closing back bearish. We've got a minor support forming within that 30-minute candle. As the new candle opens up, creates a bit of an upper wick. Creates a lower high, lower low to the previous candle. That's the entry. So it needs to drop in the next 45 seconds. All right, JJ. See, I want this thing to close really strong. I want it to close well up near the high. I want it to start popping back. Goes a little bit low, so just gonna wait. Hold tight, guys. No rush. Picking one more thing. Got a very, very risky entry valid on a 5 minute. Really, really risky. It's not, to be honest, not my cup of tea. So I'm just going to patiently wait. So hovering back above that resistance. There is one more little option that could potentially present, and that's what I call the delayed breakout based off the 1 minute time frame. So we'll require this counter break the highest point, pull back on the 1 minute to retest that zone. As it breaks again, that's the entry. So a bit like so, was back as it breaks for the second time, that's the entry. But if that was to happen, I want it to happen very shortly. I don't want it to happen in the last 5 minutes or so of the candle, because I'd be concerned that it could pull back to leave an upper wick. And on gold, this is okay as well, because if we close bullish engulfing now above that resistance, I'm going to look to buy it on the next M30. So could be options, guys.
Yeah, good.
All right, JJ is trying to break. Just need to wait on gold, guys. Needs to wait for the confirmation. We've rejected this level multiple times. As much as I'd like to get involved, need to wait for the confirmation. If it just goes without me, it just goes. Same with GJ. The hardest part of trading is patience, waiting for your plan to eventuate and not get FOMO and just jump in on anything in between. It's hard. But for me, again, I just know my rules are there to protect me. If it goes without me, I need to accept it and I need to reassess. That's all. Because to me, this is just not a solid enough entry based off the back of that previous M30. Clarksonization, so break and retest with a body counter close 5 minute, 15 minute. Closure above at this point. New counter tap in, continuation. Starting to trend a bit low on the 15, so possibly a limit order. Possibly a limit order back at the height of the resistance, possibly. Smoke, not for me just yet. Same on gold. I know it's breaking, but we've rejected multiple times, so just wait for a confirmation. There's GJ. All good. So the next option right now is likely going to be the limit order. Just depends where this goes right now. For me, it's always hard to trust a impulse entry against such a strong bearish candle. If it's a weak bearish candle, by all means. Strong bearish candle, how to determine if it's weak or strong? You can use a fib. Close below 50%. Just make and draw it from top to bottom, bottom to top. All you're concerned about is whether or not it's closing below 50. If it does close below to 50, I would consider that to be a strong bearish candle. So this one's obviously closed well below it. So that would automatically, for me, rule out any impulse entries. Again, it's just keeping it mechanical, guys, making it robotic, so you're not if, but, maybe. You don't have to think so hard about it. You're just keeping it simple. Yes, you're going to miss some moves. Sometimes this will, well, more often than not, it's going to protect you, though. So let's see on gold. Gold hasn't gone just yet. It could be options on gold. Still could be options on GJ. Just needs to patiently wait. Cody, good day to you. Good morning, my friend. Oh god, felt good. Back crack. Any catch, Cody? It's for me just Asian session today, which if you're part of the Discord, you may have seen already. But just waiting patiently on gold, see where we close for a potential buy. And also on GJ, potential buys. Him on TikTok, what's my usual stop loss? It's usually a technical level below a previous candle low in a buy option, or below above a previous candle high for a sell. Generally the M30, sometimes if that's too wide, I'll use the 15 minute. Sometimes, as long as we've got a wick in the opposite direction to where I want to take the trade in, and it's a significant one, I'll use the entry candle as the stop loss. Cody, just woke up. Oh, let's see, mate, because it could be about 5 minutes away from a potential entry. So at the moment, it could be pretty much the exact same game plan as before for a potential buy on GJ, just a little bit higher up. Him, what
You
would...
think?
Yep, go on.
Sorry, maybe on gold. Do you see any potential sells when we are closing right now? Bearish?
Yes, this is also an option. Liquidity grab from the upside. If we close right near the low of the previous candle, then gold sells are going to be valid as well. 100% lower low, lower high to the previous, for sure. It's just a matter of which one looks better. I feel GJ still looks a little bit better. I prefer trading gold. I mean, they're both options. Definitely both options. So what gold has done is broke the high of the previous candles, broke the high of that resistance, and it's now rejecting. So as long as we close back near the low of that previous candle, we're going to close a strong bearish M30 candle. So I'd rather it close near its low. I don't want it to close close to its open. That will lean towards a little bit of indecision at that resistance for me. So if it does, let's see what we've got in a 5 minute. And it's a bit choppy, so ignore that. But yeah, if it closes close to the low of the bearish candle, then yes, I think that would be an option as well. For sure.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of watching to see in 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, what presents. Would be gold. What would be the stop loss in gold though? About 40 pips. Ooh. How much margin is there? It's about close to 1-to-1. Not so concerned by that. I like gold. To be honest, I like the way it's rejecting. So I'm just going to get that ready as well, just in case. So on IC markets, 231333 is the low of the previous candle. So 231320 roughly would be a potential entry point, but this candle has to close back strong bearish to 715. Otherwise, the focus will be GJ, buys above. Him will be my TP for buy. Generally, as per my rules, I just secure when I see fit. So anywhere really between 8 to 15, 20 pips. It all just depends. Generally 10 pips is the first target. I'm a scalper, so I'm not greedy. I take what the market will give me. There's clean traffic to the left. I'm likely to leave more of a runner though. Alright, both are presenting. I'm looking at gold on my MetaTrader, and that also looks decent at the moment. So we've got just under a minute, guys. There's your options. Gold sells, GJ buys. GJ, we've at least closed above, tapped in. We're not closed back bearish, but we have tapped into that previous resistance and begin to pull away. I want GJ to leave an upper wick though. Has to leave an upper wick. I can see gold is flipping back bullish, so likely not to be going to be an entry on gold. So I'm just going to flick back to GJ on my MetaTrader. And my entry, I'm going to look for just above the high of the previous candle. I want to see a lower wick though. The low wick and entry just above the previous candle's high. So I'm looking at 33 as my entry. Hold on. 201.033. That's what I'm looking at, guys. So I'm not in just yet. I'm very close to being triggered in. Got a few confluences here. I've got a 5-minute confluence as well. Thank you for the sub. So to me, it's looking pretty solid. And if it pulls back, I'm not triggered in just yet. So fantastic. If this is better. This is even better. Pulls back to tag into that previous resistance yet again and bounce off it. I'm even more comfortable in it. Is there a cheeky interruption entry just here? How far above did it close? 1.5. Entry 2, or first potential entry, is the limit order buy on the interruption play. So we're starting to trend bullish. We've got this candle in between closing back in the opposite direction. We've engulfed that candle quite significantly. So the other option is to get involved on the pullback to tap into that previous candle's high in anticipation of flip, bounce off that resistance, and end up breaking above the previous candle's high. But right now, if it flips again and breaks, going to be triggered into the first entry. Gold, not a good closure. So right now, still indecisive for me on gold, not ready for an entry. So definitely the focus is the GJ. So I'm not in just yet, guys. Almost, but not being triggered in. So I'm just going to remove that. Some of you may have been triggered in by spread. I'm not in yet. Still sitting here waiting. What's my take on zero PPI today? There is PPI today. Let's focus on later, to be honest. I'm not too fast. I'm not much of a fundamentalist. Reason being is I don't trade the news. Plus I'm in and out of the markets very quickly, so I'm not all that concerned by it. I am aware of it, but I won't be on for that particular release, so I'm not so concerned by it. Alright, I've just been tagged in. Yep, I'm in. Let's see. Now there's ways, if it breaks its own low, you could cut half. I like to manage risk, guys. I don't like to take full losses. So that's a way of mitigating your risk exposure. So let's see. Let's see. Not traded GJ much at all of late, to be honest. Yeah, I'm on GJ. Do your thing. Push. Alrighty. Pushing quite well now, guys. A little bit more and I'm going to get to break even. Yeah, I'm on GJ. All right, so I've got 6.5 pips on the table, 7 pips. All right, guys, as per my usual plan, I don't want to take a loss from here. So I'm going to get to break even. Now it's risk free. I've got 7.5 pips running. There we go. Popping up.
Nice work, man.
Thank you, my brother. There we go. There's 10. I've closed half and I'm going to leave a substantial runner. I'm just going to let this thing go. There we go, guys. It's pumping now.
Very good.
Job done. 6-0 for the week. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. That's all. The least you can do is smash the like button, guys. Smash it. W's in the chat. Let's go. Who's in it? Had pretty much absolutely no drawdown, guys. That's how we roll. That's how we do it. What a week. After all the crap I was putting up with last week from a couple in the chat, because I had one bad week. One losing week. The first losing week of the year. And I've come back with a vengeance. 6-0. Silent, if you are watching, stick that right up your ass, my friend.
Congrats.
It's hard not to sometimes get emotional in this game, because when you have some people who are wanting you to fail,
I can imagine.
There is nothing better than sticking it up the backside. So,
but Justin, as you mentioned, stick to your plan.
That's
and
it.
You see how it changes. Huh? So last week was not that good.
Not exactly.
And in this week, I don't know, you have doubled it. So
more than doubled it, man. This has been a cracking week. This is one of the best weeks of the year. So it's gone from my worst week to basically one of the best. And that's how it is. I always say, just stick to doing the same shit
the game.
over and over. the video I uploaded over the weekend was about a bit about that. About you don't just change everything up because you have one bad week. Because if it over the long run, you know it works. Just stick to it. It will turn back in your favor. We all take losses. It's just that's trading. If you can't handle a loss, you just don't do it. You never cut it as a trader. But well done, guys. So well done.
It's part of the game.
Exactly. Cheers, guys. Good to see you all got some pips on that one. So well done. We just had to wait patiently for our option, and job done. Well done. So appreciate you guys.
Nice one, Jessica.
Oops. Thank you, my friend. Well done, guys. Good work. All right. So, who got it? TikTok. Did you guys get it? You guys have been really quiet today. Yesterday, you guys were pumping. Yesterday, I had more viewers on TikTok than what I had on YouTube. Today, it's quite quiet in there. But all good. People are always going to be bad mouthing, bro. I know, Monty. It's all part of it. And I don't really give a shit. Last week I got caught up in it a little bit, but at the end of the day I could not really care less, to be honest. Good shit, him. Thank you. Patient and strategy always plays out. That's it. Security 90%. Monty, good work. Well done. So at least some of you in TikTok are listening. Well done. All right, how about YouTube? Cody, sorry, that was familiar. Yeah, you got it. W, Crow, W, Mohammed, W, nice work. Hannah, good work. To Mohammed's, well done, both new. Ben, Nomad, nice trade, thank you. 54k4, good work. Sharif, nice one. Balanced AG Consulting, W, good work. 54k4. Buddy, Crow, buddy, from where can I enter sell with low lot and leave it? Sell? Yeah, I will not be looking at sells right now, my friend. Sells aren't on the table at all, just because price is pumping. And like I said before, some of you are going to have indicators in your chart suggesting that we're overbought, and yes, we may be, but why? We're probably overbought just here and we'll continue to pump. We're probably overbought just here, or just here, for instance. Well, there we dumped, but you get the picture. Market moves in ways of consolidation, pullbacks, impulse. Consolidation, impulse, pullback, impulse, consolidation, impulse. The only time for me it becomes a valid entry on the sell side is when we start to flip some structure back bearish. So we pull back, maybe consolidate it again, and start to pop below the origin of the impulse. That's going to flip the M30 structure back bearish. That is when the probability starts to open up for me for a sell option. I'm not just selling it now because it's high up and I think it's going to pull back. Yes, the market will pull back at some point. I'm not going to anticipate it though. I will react if and when it happens. So I would not just open up a small lot at all. I just wait for it, because what you got to do is you got to trade. First of all, you got to create the right habits in your trading. So if you get away with it, and let's just say you open a small sell right now and it gets you 20, 30, 40 pips or something, you're going to think you can get away with it every single time. And then you're just going to take random trades on what you think all the time, as opposed to what you see. You're not going to react to what you're seeing. And that is the worst thing you can do. So I would say just don't worry about that. Now your focus should be, if you're not in a buy just now, which I think you mentioned you were, your focus should be now on pullback to buy it again until that fails, until the pullbacks start to fail and we start to create some lower lows. That's what my focus would be moving forward. I would not be interested in trying to to pick the top right now, because how do we know the top is in? Dot, well done. Well done, GJs. That's it. Not traded all that much of late, but when it's there to be traded, it's there to be traded. Got to take it. Clarksonization, a few pips out at break even. Okay, you're at break even. No, I'm still got the runner. 6 pips up on the runner. Rise up. Thank you, brother. A lot to learn. Nice one. And thank you for joining from Lorenzo's stream. I'll have to pop on sometime in the chat and say g'day. Again, I really like the bloke. I think he's a top, I like his character. He's a top guy. He's a cool cat. Yeah, so I appreciate the plug on his stream. NBA 205 UK. You here? Glad you're here, buddy. We can talk some basketball. I love the NBA. It's my favorite sport. Some people bigging you on Lorenzo's stream yesterday. Nice win. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Dawn chats win. Yep. Cheers. So a lot of you guys are new from Lorenzo's stream. I really do appreciate it. Spread the love, spread the word. And this is what we do, guys. We just plan, we wait, sit patiently. Sometimes we sit there, people get frustrated, they'll flick over to another stream because I'm not taking a trade. But when I do trade, I trade with confidence. I trade with probability. I trade with confidence. I'm really a cool cat, not at all anxious in a trade. I trust my analysis. So Crow, I just wouldn't even do that, to be honest, because it's going to start teaching you bad habits, and you think if you get away with it once, you're going to start doing it more often. And what happens when, let's just say you've got a $100 account or something, you over leverage and open a 5-cent lot or a 10-cent lot because you got away with it once on a 1-cent lot, you're quickly going to lose a substantial amount of your account. So I would not do it, in all honesty. Dot, bit of work to do and I'll be training GJ. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you're not training it. Yep. Carl F, GJ can be overbought for weeks. It can be. Definitely can be. It has been for quite a substantial part of this year, hasn't it? It's just been in a massive uptrend. Carl, oh yeah, just for that, sorry. Gold going up right now, Crow. It is too. See, in this circumstance though, it's just unfortunate because it's made the move. And this is what I mean. Yes, I wait patiently, and yes, sometimes it means it's going to miss the move. But being off the 15-minute, maybe you could have gone entry, but had no upper wick. Twice last week I got burnt on taking trades which had no upper wick. Twice, so I wouldn't have entered it either way. So for me now, the next potential entry on gold, likely not to take another trade though at the moment, would be the interruption entry, potentially. So what I mean by that is we're trending. We started a trend from this support. We create a nice impulse to the upside within it. This one cheeky little devil closing back bearish, triggering some sellers coincidentally below that previous resistance. So it's a level you expect to see some sellers pop in to the markets. We're since wipe those sellers out with a strong closure above. If that is to be the case, it's still got 11 minutes remaining, so it could drop all the way back, or it could tap into the next target, the resistance. However, if it does close similar to where it is just now, look for, in anticipation, new account's going to create a low wick, tap into that previous level to grab a little bit more liquidity, the high of that bearish candle, bounce off it, head back up to the next level of resistance. Now, if in the meantime though, this current candle makes the move, taps into the target, it's no entry at all. Would not look at that limit order at all, because essentially this candle's tapped into the target, so new candle could just open up, swap a wick, tag you in, and start to trend back down, rejecting that level. So that would be a next potential option on gold. I've still got 12 pips running on GJ. My runner is still in. My target, I reckon I'm going to target 201.50. That's going to be my overall target. Nomad here from Lorenzo's stream. Nice one, guys. Appreciate it. Michelle just made 30 pip and exited now on gold buys. Okay, interesting, nice one. Happy for all profitable. So pro, I most definitely can. EN. All right, so it's rejecting again. We looked at this, was it yesterday? And how often do you hear me say this again? And it still could pull back and crane up a wick, but it doesn't have to. Everyone you'll hear will be saying, I mean, a majority of traders will say, but it's got no upper wick. It's got to pull back, crane up a wick. It doesn't necessarily have to. It's got a lower high, lower low to the previous candle. As long as it respects levels of support, resistance formed on the way down within the current candle, and it's likely just going to continue to trend bearish. So what I mean by that, what levels? Well, it's potentially breaking the first level just now. The next level it needs to break, if it's got any chance of craning up a wick, is this level on the 4 hour. Around that 1.76, just below 1.76. So now we can see, first of all, the 4 hour is definitely bearish in structure. So is, I think the daily was from memory. Yesterday, yep, daily is also bearish. What you got here in a daily though is potentially bouncing off support. Previous daily closed in the decision candle, long wick in either direction. So if it begins to break the previous daily candle's high, it's a good chance it will pull back further into the range above, potentially retesting that 4 hour resistance just below 107.6, well 1.76, sorry. 30 minute. Is bearish as well, and it's at the last significant lower high. So right now, and I've just used the highest point. So this in this circumstance, that's when I'll use the bullish candle high, because there's just no zone, there's no bearish wick to the upside. That's the highest point of the swing. Bullish wick just a few pips up, so I'll just use that as the zone. But what we can see is this is the lowest point the market got to. So I'm looking to the left of that, and where was the last two candle, has to be consecutive, 2 or more candle, pull back in the opposite direction. It's right at these highs here. So as long as we remain below it, we're technically bearish. We're still bearish. Yes, we're seeing, granted, we're creating high lows, high highs. It's micro structure, it's micro trend. The actual trend itself is bearish. So for me and EN, I'm just looking to see where we form support on the move to the upside. Now we've got support at this point here. That becomes the first potential entry point for a sell. If price begins to pop below it, likely what's going to do is head back down to the next support at this point here. Whether you got the margin or not, it's another story. Next potential entry point for a sell is below 107.4, 7467. Price pops down to that level there. Bounces off it, starts close below it. That's your next potential entry to sell it. So the only time I would consider any otherwise for the buys from these levels of support is when at least you got daily candle probabilities to the upside. So what I mean by that, I want this daily candle to actually break the high of the previous daily. You got a candle close, a forming strong bullish at that point, higher high, higher low to that indecision candle at support. So it's a potential sign of reversal. If that was to be the case, and we break above, then like so, then we've got the option of buy it from back above the previous daily candle's high, or if it pulls back further, flipping the M30 structure, and it'd be great if it flipped the M30 structure upon breaking the high of the previous daily candle, pulls back further to this support, then I'd look to also buy it from that support, because at least you're trading with structure at that point there. You've also traded daily candle probabilities on your side. The exact same entry point for the sell, you're going to flip M30 structure back bearish at that point, at this stage, if that was to be the case. So that's what I'd be looking at. So for the buyers, basically I want it to break the previous daily candle's high, close above the M30, flip M30 structure bullish, pull back, buy it, sell. As long as it remains below its resistance, I'd be looking to sell from any level of support that it begins to close below. GJ, I've still got 12 pips running. 13, it's popping up. Price break daily auto block. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, brother. Yeah, and it's all, everyone calls it something different. I just call it support. If you're saying it broke it, not really. I mean, you've still got all these wicks to the left. So I would say it's approaching previous candles high. So it's looking like it's trying to bounce off this support zone, supply zone, demand, whatever you call it, order block. I just call it support. T-Dog, I used AI to make 1980s upbeat K-pop dance version of the hanging tree while I'm watching you do this. Oh man, whatever floats your boat, brother. That'd be interesting. I like to hear it. I like to hear it. Nice one. Nice one, nice one. Julio, sorry brother, I missed your trade. So I'm assuming you took some profits on GJ as well, by the looks of it. Good work. Alrighty guys, so I think that's pretty much wraps it up. So for me, GJ moving forward, once again, I will not be trying to sell it because how do we know the top's in? We'll continue to trend to the upside. Whilst we're trending bullish, the trend is your friend. Trade it with the trend. So that means pullbacks to around that 21 or 210 sort of level. Bounces off the most recent resistance formed, then I'd be looking to buy it. If it pulls back further, I'd still look to buy it at this rate, above 200.65, roughly 66. Still going to be bullish in structure. So once structure begins to flip bearish is the only point I will begin to look for a sell at this stage. It isn't a big uptrend. I will not be trying to trade it against the trend at this stage. So that is simply GJ. 4 hours about to close as well, or in the next hour will be closing. So perhaps if this candle closes strong bullish and the new candle creates that pullback to tap into either level A, that gray zone, or level B, that blue zone, forming its lower wick, look out for its form of support to take a buy back up. Gold doesn't look like it's going to close strong enough above that candle, so I would not be looking for that interruption play right now. Structures, tough one. Let me see. It is flipping bullish. I would say it's flipping back bullish as long as it closes above the gray resistance, which it is likely to do so next minute and a half. So that being said, on gold, what I'd probably likely look for is very similar as far as using a 4 hour candle as your catalyst. So the 4 hours about to close bullish at support. What I'd now be waiting for, seeing them flip the M30 back bullish as well. Price can pull back. Now, even if it pulls back below its previous range and creates a higher low halfway in, creating a lower wick in a new 4 hour, I would look to buy it because at least you got the 30-minute structure bullish at this point, and at least you've got the 4 hour closing above a resistance, closing back a strong bullish candle. That would be my catalyst to look for the buy upon the pullback. And it just depends where this candle closes, because if it closes quite significantly above, the pullback might come back down to 23.16, form a support, and then potentially buy it from that point there. That's what I'll be looking at on gold. As far as sells on gold, I think you're going to need to use the 15 as well. I think the sells are best below 23.14. So what I want to see it do is just pull back, maybe consolidate yet again, close the 4 hour still below this resistance, and maybe if the new 4 hour candle pops up, then begins to pop below support on the 15, that could be a potential entry to take it back down towards the current daily candle's low. So that is probably what I'd be looking at for the sells. I think that's about a wrap. So it's closed below that wick, so it hasn't engulfed the bearish candle. yeah, so that's about it, guys. Sandra, good morning from Orlando. Nice one. Would love to go to Orlando one day. How's your Orlando Magic this year? Had a great year, didn't they? So that's about it, guys. Once again, I appreciate you all. Thank you to all the guys who came across from Lorenzo's stream as well. Appreciate it, guys. If you have not done so yet, make sure to subscribe. I do stream daily for London session. Tomorrow I'll be on from about 7:30 a.m. UK time. So about an hour later than usual on a Friday. And also free Discord. So there's a Discord link in the description below. It's for free. I generally stream NY Discord, guys, just a Zoom call a couple times a week. But nothing else. You get some market analysis. I'm in the chat regularly when I'm up, obviously. And yeah, so it's just worth it, guys. Have a look at it, get involved, ask questions, send charts. Yeah, and I'll see you in there. AN, don't trade it. But Path Patel, don't trade it. It's a shit pair to trade for scalping. They're too highly correlated. They're both, the Australian dollar and NZ dollar move the exact same way. So don't trade it. Should be the one currency, in all honesty. Chef Wilson, all good. Appreciate it. Franco, thank you, brother, for joining.
Thank you very much, Justin.
Well done.
See you tomorrow then.
Cheers, my friend. Take care.
Bye. You too.
Thank you, mate. So TikTok, yep, not follow. Make sure to follow. I will be back tomorrow as well. To everyone else, cheers. If you'd like to know any more about what I do, all can be found in the description down below. Bye, my friends. Have a good one.